Good morning. This is Paula O'Sullivan from Possum Digital, and um, I want to talk to you about a really important issue that has come up in questions with clients over the last couple of weeks, and that's around having a plan or a purpose, or what do I do with each of my social media channels? So if you're a business that has a marketing plan, so you might have set some objectives, you might have a business plan, you might have some high level plan that looks at your mission, your vision, the audience you're going to target, the messages, etc. How is it that you can take that very high level plan and really break it down into what that looks like for each and every channel that you use? So this is a really short exercise that I'd like all of you to go through for all of your social media channels. This is an exercise I use for my own social media channels, and I actually did this about 2 months ago when I was revising all of my plans. So what you do, so the first step is to list down all of your social media channels that you use for your business. So whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, whether it's LinkedIn. Now, for the purpose of this exercise, a Facebook page and a Facebook group are two different channels, and I'll explain why. So you'll list your Facebook page, your Facebook group, your LinkedIn page, and your LinkedIn profile, again, two separate channels for this particular exercise. So once you've listed all of those, start from the top. And there are 4 things that I'd like you to go through for each of your channels. Now, the first thing that you need to do is to identify the purpose. This is the why. So why are you actually using this channel in the first place? So if it's a Facebook page, ask yourself this question: what purpose does using this Facebook page serve for my business? What am I actually what is the benefit going to be for me? What is the why? Why am I, is it, if the reason is something around, I'm just using it because such and such told me to, or I'm using this because everyone else is, or I'm using it because just because and I haven't got a reason, then I really, really recommend you reflect on why it is you're using this particular channel in the first place. So it could be something like, I am using this channel or I'm using this Facebook page because it's really going to help my business grow, increase its brand awareness, or it's really going to help me connect with the people that I need to connect with. That's a reason, and that's a purpose. The second thing to have a look at is objectives. So once you've identified why, the actual, I guess, kind of mission or vision or actual purpose for your channel, what is, I'm using it to expand my branding and to promote events. Perfect. That is, Nick, that's absolutely perfect. Well done. So once you've identified that particular channel for that particular purpose, you need to set some objectives. Now, I reckon no more than 2 to 3 objectives, because you really want to make this worthwhile and you want to be able to achieve those. So again, coming back to a Facebook example, an objective could be, so for you, Nick, if you're using it to promote your events, it could be something like, I will use Facebook to drive 10% more traffic to my events page, or I will use it to help me sell more tickets, or I will use this channel to do this, and this is the measurement that I'm going to use. So making sure that it's specific, making sure that it's measurable, making sure that it's attainable, making sure that it's realistic, and make sure that it's time specific. So I've just talked about a SMART goal. So if you can look at the top 2 or 3 objectives for that channel. So for Facebook, again, it could be, I will use this channel to increase traffic to my website by 10%, or I will use this channel to increase awareness of or engagement of. And coming back to Nick there around events, what is the specific objective around that your Facebook page is going to fulfill? So once you've looked at your purpose, once you've looked at your objectives, next is to look at your audience. Now, you might think, look, I've got the audience sorted already. I know exactly who I'm going to be speaking to. I know my audience is this, and this is who I want to talk to, which is great. However, businesses often have more than one audience. So you could be speaking to this particular audience here or this particular audience here. So even across different social channels, there are going to be different people you'll be speaking to based on the channel that you've got. So for LinkedIn, so for my business, I use Facebook like I'm using this live here right now. My objective is to connect with small and medium business owners through Facebook. So that's my audience. If I was to do something like this on LinkedIn, I'd be connecting with my audience there would be more around consultants or referral partners or larger businesses. So yeah, SME owners are going to be there as well, but really my channel for connecting with that audience is Facebook. So again, identifying what channel is going to connect with what audience is really going to help you get the most out of that channel, and be as specific as you can around that audience. So even though you may be someone who connects or serves small business owners, to say something like my audience is all small business owners across Australia isn't necessarily that helpful. You might want to narrow it down a bit. So it could be something like I want to target small business owners that have been in business between 2 and 5 years. They've got a team of up to 5 people. They're in these particular industries. So you're really starting to build out a profile of who it is that you're actually talking to. So that covers off audience. Now, lastly, so you've got your why, you know why you're using this channel. So Nick, you've got a construction-based industry. If you for yourself think more about if you can create what's called a customer avatar or more a customer profile of who it is that you're talking to in the construction industry, then you can identify. So sometimes this might need a bit of retrofitting. So if you build the audience first and then go, actually, you know what? Facebook might not be the best place to connect with those people. It could be Twitter, or it could be LinkedIn. So if you're looking at, Nick, if you're looking at, say, in the construction industry, much larger organisations, then I'd be potentially looking at Twitter or LinkedIn as a channel for you to connect with those kinds of people. So that's something for you to have a bit of a think about. So once you've really looked at that audience piece, then you can look at, well, what are the tactics that I'm going to use for my actual social media channel? So all a tactic is the actions that you're going to take. So for, say, LinkedIn, I am going to post 3 times a week. I am going to ask for recommendations from 5 people every week. I am going to. So if we look at this holistically, firstly, the purpose is the why. Why am I using this channel? Secondly, the objective. This is what I'm going to achieve. Third, here are the people I'm going to be speaking to. Exactly. Yeah, well done, Nick. Thirdly, here are the people I'm going to be speaking to. And lastly, these are the actions that I'm going to take to help me achieve my objective. Now, does all of that make sense? And I reckon you could spend oodles of time on this, particularly on the audience piece, because the audience piece can actually trip up a lot of people. But if you spend a bit of time looking at each individual channel and mapping out those 4 things, so again, purpose, objective, audience, tactics, or actions, whichever word is more meaningful for you, then you have a little mini plan and make it no more than half a page for each channel. That's it. Any longer and you're not going to read it. So you've got a little plan for Facebook, a little plan for LinkedIn, a little plan for Twitter. And if for, say, Twitter, you could have tactics like, I'm going to use these hashtags, or I'm going to create a list of my top prospects that I'm going to target, or I'm going to do this or this or this. So really breaking it down into these are the actions I'm going to take, it makes it so clear, so absolutely clear, because you really need clarity around this. And in my view, if it's not written down, if it's all just in your head, and I'll tell you what, I've made this mistake so many times. if it's all in my head and it's not written down, you forget. You have a brilliant idea, like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this particular action. It's going to help me grow my LinkedIn connections, or it's going to help me, get some more engagement on my Facebook page. And if I forget to write it down, then it just goes away. So write everything down, document everything, because it's easier to amend something that's written down than to amend nothing that's on the page. So if you've got any other questions, please drop them into the comments below, and I'll come back and touch base with you all again. But if there's anything that has come up in this particular live for you that you want to explore further, please let me know. We could, for example, look a bit more about how do you set your audience? How do you create a customer avatar or a persona, and do a bit more, or have some more conversations around that. So let me know in the comments below if this is resonating with you, and also if there is anything in particular that you want to explore more, and we can do that in a future live. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to speak to you all very soon. I'll see you all next week on the page. Have a great day.